You carry a tribunal inside your head. Every decision you make is filtered through the eyes of people who are not even in the room. You wake up and ask, what will they think? You go to sleep and replay, what did they say? You are living your life as a performance for an audience that does not even pay for the ticket. This is the invisible weight. It is heavier than any responsibility you carry at work. It is more exhausting than any project you have ever managed. Because it never stops. The tribunal is always in session. And the verdict is almost always guilty. You have built a prison. The bars are not made of steel. They are made of glances, of silences, of words spoken long ago that you have never been able to forget. You can taste the bitterness of those words even now, a dry metallic tang on your tongue. You feel the weight in your chest when you remember them. You hear the echo of their voices in the empty rooms of your mind. And the worst part is this. You know you are capable of more. You feel it. There is a version of you that is free. A version that moves through the world without looking over his shoulder. A version that speaks his truth without calculating the reaction. But that version feels like a stranger. Because you have spent so long pleasing everyone else that you have forgotten how to recognize your own voice. There was a man who lived at the center of the Roman Empire. His name was Seneca. He was one of the wealthiest men in Rome. He was the advisor to the most powerful emperor on earth. He had everything the world could offer. And he wrote letters about freedom. Not political freedom. Not financial freedom. Something deeper. Something that terrified the powerful people around him. He wrote about the freedom of the mind. The freedom to be indifferent to the opinions of others. He wrote to his friend Lucilius in a letter that is now known as number 75. And in that letter, he said something that still echoes across 2,000 years. Let us say what we feel, he wrote, and feel what we say. Let speech harmonize with life. That man has fulfilled his promise who is the same person both when you see him and when you hear him. Think about that. The same person when you see him and when you hear him. No mask, no performance, no calculation. Just a man who is whole. A man who does not have one face for the world and another for the mirror. Seneca understood that the deepest slavery is not chains on your body. It is the need for approval. It is the hunger for applause. It is the fear of being judged by people whose judgment does not matter. He wrote another work, a treatise called On the Firmness of the Wise Man. And in it, he made a statement that is almost too radical to believe. He said that the wise man is content with himself. Not arrogant. Not proud. Content. He does not need the crowd to validate him. He does not need the applause of the masses. He has built his house on solid ground, and the storms of public opinion cannot shake it. Seneca understood what most people never learn. The opinion of others is not in your control. It never was, and it never will be. You cannot force someone to respect you. You cannot argue someone into admiring you. You cannot earn the approval of a person who has decided not to give it. And yet, you spend your life trying. You spend your limited, precious, irreplaceable time on a task that is impossible from the start. And here is the deeper truth. The people whose opinions you fear are not even thinking about you. They are thinking about themselves. They are worried about their own tribunal. They are performing for their own audience. The judgment you feel is almost entirely in your head. You are the prosecutor, the judge, and the executioner. And you have convicted yourself for crimes that no one even noticed. So what do? How do you break free from a prison that exists only in your mind? Seneca gave us a tool. It is simple, but it is not easy. Every morning, before you step into the world, you draw a line. On one side of the line, you place everything that is in your power. Your actions, your words, your choices, your character. On the other side, you place everything that is not in your power. The opinions of others, the weather, the economy, the past, the future. Then you make a decision. You will invest your energy only in what is in your power. You will not waste a single breath on what is not. This is not indifference, and this is not coldness. This is the discipline of a man who understands that his time is the key to his true success. When you feel the weight of judgment, you pause. You feel the air grow heavy as it moves through your lungs. You listen to the silence around you. You look at your hands and remember that they are capable of building, of creating, of serving. And you ask yourself one question. Is this opinion in my power? If the answer is no, you let it go, but not with effort. You simply recognize that it does not belong to you. It belongs to the person who holds it. And you have not walked a mile in their shoes. You are not responsible for the thoughts of others, though it would be good if at least your own thoughts were under your control. This is the morning ritual of clarity for a free man. A ritual of remembering who you actually are before the world told you who you should be. There will come a day, I do not know when, but it will come. A day when you realize that you have stopped caring. Not in a bitter way, not in a cynical way, in a peaceful way. You will be in a meeting and someone will criticize you, and you will feel nothing, not because you are numb, but because you know who you are. You will be at dinner with friends, and someone will make a comment about your choices, and you will smile, not because you are hiding, but because their opinion has no power over you. You will wake up one morning, and the tribunal will be empty. The voices will be gone. The courtroom will be silent, and you will hear, for the first time in years, the sound of your own voice. It will be quiet. It will be calm. It will be free. The freedom that Seneca wrote about is not the freedom to do whatever you want. It is the freedom to be who you are, while leaving behind the performances, the excuses, and of course, the fear. This is the gift of the Stoic tradition, a tradition that whispers across the centuries to every man who is brave enough to listen. The wise man is content with himself. He does not need the world to agree with him. He does not need the crowd to cheer for him. He has found the peace that comes from knowing that his worth is not determined by the approval of others. And here is the final truth, the one that Seneca understood. The only judgment that ultimately matters is the judgment of your own conscience. You were not created to be a mirror for the opinions of others. You were created to be a light, and light does not ask for permission to shine. Your mind has been sitting in a prison, but the door was never locked. It was always open. You just could not see it, because you were too busy, because you were not looking at the door. You were looking through the window of your confined space at the prison yard, and at the people walking through it, peering in through the window at you. You were too busy thinking about what they thought of you. Stand up, walk to the door, step through. The air outside is different. It is fresh and real. You can smell the earth, the trees, the possibility of a life that is fully yours. You can feel the ground beneath your feet, solid and true. You can hear the birds, the wind, the sound of a world that does not care about your reputation. And you can taste the sweetness of freedom. The tribunal is empty. The voices are silent. And you are finally, completely, irrevocably free. And yet, this is not the end. It is the beginning. Because freedom is not a destination you arrive at and then forget. Freedom is a muscle. You must exercise it every day. The voices will try to return. They will whisper from old habits, from familiar fears, from the ghosts of people who once shaped you. And you will hear them, but you will not obey. This is the discipline Seneca called the art of living. Not a single act of defiance, but 1,000 small acts of remembrance. Every morning, you choose. Every evening, you reflect. You ask yourself, did I live today as a free man, or did I let the opinions of others steer my ship? And if you stumble, you do not despair. You simply begin again. Because the wise man knows that the path is not straight. It winds through valleys of doubt and ridges of fear. But the direction is clear. You are moving toward yourself. When you close your eyes at night, you will feel the day's weight dissolve. You will hear the quiet hum of your own breath, steady and unhurried. You will taste the calm that comes from knowing you were true to your own compass. And you will see, in your mind's eye, the horizon of tomorrow where the same choice awaits. But now, you are stronger. Now, you are lighter. You have planted the seed of freedom. And each day, you water it with the simplest act, the decision to care only about what is worthy of your care. That is the final lesson. The world will keep shouting. It will keep demanding. It will keep trying to pull you into its currents. But you are no longer driftwood. You are the one who steers. And the direction you choose is yours alone. The tribunal may return, but you will not take your seat. The courtroom may reopen, but you will not enter. Because you have finally learned what Seneca knew. The only verdict that matters is the one you deliver to yourself. And when you deliver it with honesty and compassion, you are free. Not just for a day, not just for a moment, for the rest of your life.